that's a little bit about me for those of you who don't know who I am. Okay, so I want to make a quick disclaimer before we get started. All right, so the first thing I want to point out is that these are my observations and experiences. Okay, so I taught the license waiver course, as a coach for 10 years. I've been operating my own school, the Cornering Confidence Program, and so I kind of had been having a foot in both worlds, and so that's sort of where that's how I bring these experiences and my observations. Also, I 100% back the basic training license waiver courses, and I'll refer to basic training mostly in this presentation as the license waiver courses, because we know there's several different curriculums, and I'm not going to name any curriculums. I'm going to make assumptions that you can, they're broad, but specific as well to certain ones that I've been trained in. Now, I'm not making a case against the basic courses. There's a lot they get right. They're really good at preparing writers with little to no experience, and basic training can take a writer very far. All right, so if you want to be a very conservative writer, you can go very, very far on basic skills and enjoy motorcycling just as much as someone who likes to go a little faster. I also have found that the cognitive skill development and traffic management is very hard to beat outside the waiver courses. I mean, they really can handle a lot of those mental things and how to interpret traffic probably better than anybody. And that's probably why you don't see a whole lot of additional training in traffic management and those kind of things. Now, why this topic? Well, I'm interested in it. Okay, so I have this inquisitive mind, and in my experience, in my experience coaching track days and coaching tours, many experienced writers simply recite and perpetuate misconceptions perhaps learned in the waiver courses far into the future. They don't do it on purpose. It's just that there's a tendency to repeat for many years what was taught in a basic course. Now, where I see problems are mostly with the next level cornering content and techniques beyond the parking lot, because we know there's a trick here. We have to teach people who don't know what they're doing not to hurt themselves today while we're learning, and then once they leave us, some things just aren't as applicable anymore. And so it's the next level cornering content and techniques that we're looking for, and they're not being learned and potentially holding writers back once they leave the course. Also, waiver course coaches may want to understand their students better because they may be bringing knowledge or questions to their courses. And you got to understand, in today's day and age, there's a lot of YouTubers, and there's a lot of great books out there, awesome podcasts, and they talk about things. And if you as a coach just stop, with what's in the basic waiver courses and say, well, this is going to take you forever into the future, you just may not be understanding where the students are coming from. And of course, I want to make a quick note about advanced concepts in waiver course materials. You certainly can find inclusions of advanced techniques in waiver course materials. Now, when I was recertified in 2017 for the latest curriculum, there were many things in the student handbook that were really advanced and improved. And I remember being surprised by that. And the writer coach basically was saying, well, this might be the only class they ever take, and that the book itself is kind of supposed to be a standalone resource. And while they do mention some of the advanced things I'll talk about in the course materials, it's mostly in the workbooks, the student workbooks. When the students are actually out riding in the parking lot, these things are basically absent. So here were the secondary variations. These are things that I don't see as crucial, if you will, but as an experienced writer myself, I see them as things that could be improved. First of all, riding posture, just a couple of things we'll talk about with riding posture. What to do for in-curve emergencies. Now, you can't cram certain things into the course. So the waiver courses, you got to nip and tuck anyways. And so this is left off the plate. Low speed maneuvers, I have a real weird thought about this compared to a lot of people I know. They just, I don't know how else to say it. I actually was, attacked on a Facebook group about ideas behind this one. I say attacked. No one attacked me. They just said mean things to me. Shifting is another one. So these, again, there could be more things, but these were the glaring secondary variations. From the curriculum, cover the clutch. All right. But what changes when you leave is we don't cover the clutch beyond our low speed maneuvers when we leave the course. And it's almost like intuition. We're told time and time again in the class, cover the clutch in this waiver class. And then we just kind of let it go after and when we leave the course. The curriculum says don't cover the front brake, which covering the front brake out there in the world decreases reaction time and controls our speed and steering much better for not even just tight cornering, just riding around. And this is not the same as the clutch. So while people quickly learn not to cover the clutch when they're out in the real world, it takes a little while for them, if they ever do, realize, hey, I could probably cover the brakes for a lot of benefits here. At least in traffic, cutting our reaction time down, which, by the way, is mentioned in the book, the workbook for the students, okay? Lean with the motorcycle. And so, there's a classic picture in the waiver course that shows leaning with the motorcycle at normal speeds and then the counterweighting when you're in a low speed turn. So we want to lean with the motorcycle, and that could serve you well for many years, even if you're a sport touring rider, okay, and you really want to, go a sport rider. But leaning inside the turn may increase control and clearance. Again, these things like leaning inside the turn is probably just left out because why would you open that Pandora's box with new students, with new riders, okay? So I can understand that, and I can also see why the curriculum would say cover the clutch, don't cover the brake, because, I guess the theory is we don't want to mix them up. And so there may be other things, other reasons there that I am not aware of.